In light of the recent Dragon Ball Legends update, I felt it would be cool to talk about the beauty of Dragon Ball Legends. Though we complain about this game and there's a lot of people that are hoping for its downfall, it's still a game a lot of us log into every single day. And even if you don't anymore, there's a reason you started playing the game in the first place and maintained playing the game for a long time. There's a lot of good things about the game, although there is a lot of bad about the game. I think it's good to highlight sometimes the positivity that surrounds Dragon Ball Legends, a game that has us all here today. If you have anything positive to say about this game, let me know in the comment section below, as I'm going to point out the key things that make this game so beautiful at the end of the day. The animations. As of recent, more than ever, I feel we've definitely taken the animations in Dragon Ball Legends for granted. We have some crazy legendary finishes in Dragon Ball Legends, but even outside of that, the gameplay itself makes the game so much better than a lot of games out there. I recently saw the Legends Limited MUI Goku from the 7th anniversary, his animations, the legendary finish in Sparking Zero, and people that don't play Dragon Ball Legends but are Dragon Ball fans are seeing the animations in Sparking Zero and are thinking, wow, these animations look insane, why are they not in Sparking Zero already? Well, that's because they're in Dragon Ball Legends, and us as Legends players really overlook the time and effort it really takes to pull these out of the bag. The developers do a lot of work to get these animations to this pristine quality, and they've only increased the bar, specifically with animations every single year since this game released. At the start, it was honestly unfathomable that this was a mobile game, and even nowadays when I see certain animations, even this year we got the Legends Limited Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima, we see animations like this and we think, wow, this unit is amazing, truly unfathomable. But it's not just him. We've got a bunch of crazy stuff in the past, and I think once the moment passes, we go back to our regular routine of we expect this, we expect that, but really and truly the animations in this game are outstanding. If I was just to mention some of my personal favorites, you guys know I love fusing Super Vegito. The fact that they ripped animation straight out of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will always blow my mind. And even in some cases, they pull some gimmicks where they change the atmosphere of the mobile game's general cinematics. So for example, with Super Saiyan Trunks, he literally slices the screen, and I feel that's an incredible touch to fit the moment of what happened when Super Saiyan Trunks sliced the hell out of Frieza. And even more so when they copy things quite one-to-one, the Blue Bros animation, Goku and Vegeta flying around to take out whoever they're fighting, but obviously in the movie it was Broly. Even if a lot of people don't play the game, they still tune into the reveals because visually Dragon Ball Legends is elite. I think Dragon Ball Legends gameplay should really be addressed. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of turn-based games. I think games can be so good, but if it's shrouded in turn-based mechanics plus RNG, my brain just turns off because you could lose based on elements that are out of your control, and that bothers me a lot. So I generally avoid games that have that template. Typically why I never started playing Dokkan Battle even though I knew about it since the year it came out. There are times it can be fun, especially casually, but sometimes you want to take the game a bit more seriously, and I think Dragon Ball Legends offers you the best of both worlds of live action and also turn-based action. I say turn-based because once the combo starts going, there's a lot of cases where you can't get out of it, but they do have things that allow you to break free, which makes it enjoyable. The fact that I can actually attack my opponent at the same time they attack me, so you see things like the Dokubaki impact, it makes the game feel free-flowing, and that's basically what it's meant to be. For a mobile game, they've developed a lot of mechanics that allow you to fight freely and not be restricted to your enemy's movements. Of course, there are mechanics that do make it insufferable in some cases. I really hate Frieza's death beam. That should not exist in Dragon Ball Legends. But honestly, when the connection is good and the gameplay is good, it's good. As of recent, I've been playing Dragon Ball Legends more relaxed, and I say recent, but it's been like the last year, and my experience playing Dragon Ball Legends has become much greater than it was when I was playing every single day for over 2 hours on end. Of course I stream, so I get the benefit of the doubt, but I couldn't imagine not streaming and playing the game for over 2 hours on end. But when you take the game a lot less seriously and you enjoy the core mechanics, you enjoy the movement, you enjoy engaging with other players, or even just the PvE aspect against the bots, you still get to see that these characters have cool mechanics mechanics, free-flowing movement, and you getting the advantage and beating the hell out of your opponent, that's something that I think we overlook when we play Dragon Ball Legends, but it's such a cool thing and an aspect that makes it so much better than most mobile games out there. To the point, again, it has us thinking, this is really a mobile game. And if I'm being real, I think it could easily be a console game if they simply upscale it just a bit, but that's not a conversation we're going to have today. If you've been playing the game for a long time, you might not feel this as much, and very understandably so, because they haven't gone ahead and improved on this aspect much. But summon animations really bring life to Dragon Ball Legends. I've played a bunch of different gachas, right? And really and truly, only Dragon Ball Legends and Dokkan Battle have a bunch of custom animations when it comes to the summon animations. The fact that I can get different background animations, there's different things flying in the sky, the pods, the Nimbus Cloud, Jacko's spaceship, there's even different transformations for Goku. He can be in Super Saiyan, he can be in Blue, there's different characters, I can get Vegeta, I can get Bardock, I can get Trunks, Whis, and even different antagonists. It's usually just Frieza, but sometimes Broly shows up. There's all this potential that you could see from rolling the gacha system, and the gacha system itself has you on a hook. There's this adrenaline rush in not knowing what you're going to get, but when you get a good animation, because the animations are different, you're not just waiting until the last moment, you anticipate every single step along the way. Now granted, this might ruin the experience for some of you, but the summons are predetermined the minute you press the button. It's just a bunch of zeros and ones. They know exactly what 10's gonna show out, but they just need to show you an animation that coincides with what they're gonna give you out of the 10. But even though that's the case, you don't know that, and that's what makes it great. I've been playing for the whole 7 years, so I don't feel that rush as much as I did when I first started. But I can only imagine starting the game today and not knowing what all these animations mean, and getting different things, the downloading bar, the Legends Limited Flash, the fake outs with the Ultra Orbs. There's actually a lot going on in the summon animations that we should really respect them for. Sure, they should add more, but there's a lot already to begin with, and for newer players, I'm sure they're eating, but older players like me, I can very much understand that you would easily take this for granted, but nonetheless, it looks amazing. Gacha games that are 10 times bigger or earn more revenue on a consistent basis don't have this many animations in the summons, making the gacha experience, which is already a horrible experience for a lot of people, just bland. But in Legends, at least there's a little flair to it. And shout out Dokkan Battle too, they get a little promo here. This is also an aspect I know a lot of people don't care about, and I'm also guilty of this to an extent, but there will be a time where eventually I will care about this deeply. There's a lot of depth to this game, and I'm mainly talking about the customization and attachment to the story. The fact that they have their own main character, and not just any main character. It's not like they just designed him for the purpose of the game. This is one of one co-signed by Akira Toriyama himself, RIP. The design and everything put into the mobile game for this purpose, but not just that. Of course, there's so many layers with the story mode, with the characters, voice acting, etc. But if we take it a step further, there's been a lot of cases where Toyotaro himself would make art pieces for Dragon Ball Legends. So for the Dragon Ball franchise, this game means a lot. A lot of people push the narrative of end of service coming soon every time they do something bad, but when they put out a lot of these things that only Dragon Ball Legends gets, to the point where it even infects other games, literally Sparking Zero, the game that was supposed to be the biggest game in the Dragon Ball franchise, is literally taking a character from the Dragon Ball Legends mobile game, and that screams a lot in my opinion. The guys that joke about end of service, or the guys that are serious about it, quote unquote, I want you guys to know that that's not happening anytime soon. Just the fact that Dragon Ball Legends is lined up for Battle Hour 2026 at least tells you the game has a lifespan of at least until 2027, and I think it would go further than that, honestly. And even just us as fans, there's so much potential in this game when it comes to mechanics, character design, quality design, and even if we just look at the different rarities, things can intertwine. The conversation of us getting an ultra legendary finish has been in the talks for years, and just things like that us as fans create to spice up the anticipation as we go forward. You can only imagine what the developers have in store when they want to bring a new level of hype to the game. Even if we look at something like the Game Originals tag, Goku and Bardock are absolutely spectacular, and of course we have the story units that tie into that, which I already spoke about. So there's a lot of layers here when we think about Dragon Ball Legends as a whole, and I think that really needs to be seen more than anything else. Like I said earlier, we take a lot of this stuff for granted, but when you look into it and see what the devs can potentially do, and I say potentially because at the end of the day, they still have to do it, but even with what we already have, there's a lot of depth to be looked into, and the conversation could be had for days on end about how great Dragon Ball Legends is, though they're not perfect. That's going to be the end of the video. In this video, I spoke about 4 core topics that I really think make Dragon Ball Legends what it is, and I'm sure a lot of you guys see this now that I've spoken about it in detail, and it's not something you especially should think about every single day, but sometimes I do sit there and really think this game is beautiful all in all through its downs and ups. But today I thought it would be nice to shine some sunlight on the Dragon Ball Legends community with this new manga update, which just looks phenomenal. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.